Ah, ooh. Well, it's not been that much, but it's always good to have a nap. Alright, we're back at the old Demon King, so for now let's focus actually on beating the shit out of him. Poor bastard. I'll mention when it's relevant something that happens during his boss fight, but for now, Dweebs, do you have any updates?
Recently I saw The Amateur in the cinema.
Can you remind me again what kind of movie is that?
It stars Ravi Malek and Lawrence Fishburne, where Malek goes on a mission of revenge against people that killed his wife, despite the fact that he's an analyst.
Right, I think you told me in the previous stream of this, and if I
Yeah,
recall correctly, I deemed it as kind of a generic premise.
it's and well, it kind of lives up to that description. To be honest, it's fine, but it's something I've seen before. I'm better.
Okay. What company is it, tied to?
Uh, 20th Century
Which means
Studios.
it's a Disney movie. Alright. So, have you seen enough that will suggest it's a good word for Kingdom
Yeah.
Hearts?
Um, well, if you wanted a really generic world, then sure, that would work.
Funny enough, me, Deji, and Pedro have seen recently the Blue Sky movie made in 2013 called Epic. And while the movie itself is, well, not particularly great, lots of wasted talent, honestly, setting-wise, it's kind of perfect to be Kingdom Hearts. So, who
Yeah,
knows?
again, that's like it's like I said before. That's like the one disappointing thing that Hitman's no longer at Square. Because
Well, outside of the
I
War
don't
Ends With
know.
You, they kind of did not particularly care about Avro Square. Okay, there's Einhander, I guess, but that's because part of the development team of that game is working on the gummy ship sections. Alright, check this out. Close to his death, the old king starts chanting something, if I recall correctly, which first summons a meteor shower, which is not particularly great, then charges a particular attack, if I recall correctly now. Oh shit. Yeah, let's try to hit him doing the meteor shower attack. Give me just a second, with. We'll have time for continuing.
Slice his ass.
It's the golden rule with the Souls-like games. Back that booty.
Slash that booty.
Depends on what weapon you use. If you have a club, you know.
I prefer slicing.
Okay, let me see if I can. Okay, it's now. Now the king is weakened enough that he will start. There you go, he does that kind of explosion which will kill you if you stay close enough, but he has spent all of his remaining energy and now can barely attack you. And he gets finished off by the Great Swamp Witch, Cuculus. What a tragic end. There's something more to be said because this arena is particular, so let's start first lead to the bonfire. We've seen already corpses of stuff like the Capra Demon, the Taurus Demon, and even the Asylum Demon. They basically just plop up the models and transform into corpses. But there's something else but I think it's around here. Or maybe it's even in back. If it's not here, it's back in the ruins, and I will tell you what it is. But I thought that it was also in the arena of the old king, Demon King. Then I will also read the description of the soul. Okay, no, I can't seem to find it, so I'll just tell you here. One of the corpses that you can find is the one of, I don't blame you for remembering, one of the sisters of Quelag. particularly the Pale Lady that you could forge a covenant with in the first game, and at her corpse is also the one of the pyromancer Quelana, also from the first game, which in their last moments of lives basically reunited since they were both daughters of the Witch of Isolate. Again, this whole section serves to be basically say you be sad for the characters in Dark Souls 1. As for the souls of the old Demon King, the shriveled old Demon King is now like a clump of burnt ash, but he is the last living witness of the chaos of Izalith. If I recall correctly, what you can get is either his weapon or the a pyromancy, powerful pyromancy, like the meteor shower, I think. Anyway, let's use this time to try to beat again instead Aldritch. Continue, Libs.
I mean, honestly, there's not much more to say about the Amateur. It's a perfectly functional, fine movie, but it's probably something. It could be good for having all those like background noise while you're doing household chores.
How much budget did it had?
That I don't know. I can't imagine it had more than like 40 odd million or so.
Yeah, I can imagine there might. Okay, was it heavy on action to justify some CGI and special effects or something?
Wasn't. I don't think there was much in the way of CGI, to be honest.
Like not even say an explosion or crashes.
Oh, there was 60 million.
Okay, well, I'm guessing they use practical effects, so like they actually made cars explode.
Well, they only made like. It's only made like 66.8 million at the minute.
And when exactly did it came out?
A few weeks ago.
So it's probably not gonna do double. Well, from what Juma told us, apparently nowadays movies need to do 2.5 times the budget. I don't know how it's determined, but I wonder.
I don't know. I think I've already mentioned that I saw that I saw Novocaine.
Yes.
Did I mention it here?
Yes, you did last time.
That's really about it in terms of films, although pretty soon I'm going to be seeing Sinners.
Again, I've seen
not in IMAX because I don't live near enough to. I don't near enough to want to justify going back.
I've seen the trailer of it and I was intrigued by it. I'm not sure if I will actually see it in theaters, but who knows. I heard that it's apparently, making people talk because apparently Warner Bros. Struck an exclusive deal with the director of ownership of VIP, basically saying that it doesn't belong to the company, but he retains that or something.
Yeah, after 25 years, it's going to revert back to
oh, I kind of get the idea we're getting another Watchmen situation where they're like having a clause of saying like the movie never goes like the equivalent of out of print. I wonder, because it's not the first time something attached to Warner Bros. Has done that. We'll see. And all for the best.
Movie contracts are weird.
Yeah, they sure are. Shit.
Not really much else though, to be honest. I'm just waiting to get the Switch 2. Watch our video commentary on the Switch 2 Direct for more thoughts on our end.
Yeah, I actually managed to see it, by the way. I promise I will.
But to sum it up real quick, it's got potential.
Meet potential console.
No, I mean in terms of... because it's got some things that I do fancy the look of. The new GameCube... the new GameCube Switch Online. A couple of the games that are getting... Okay, we should mention, actually, one thing I don't think we mentioned in the commentary was that there are some Switch 1 games that while they aren't getting... while they are getting Switch 2 editions per se, they are getting little free upgrades so that they'll run better than they did on the OG Switch.
Yeah, we mentioned, you know,
Kind of like enhanced versions.
Yeah,
to-
like what you get on Xbox.
we mentioned Scarlet and Violet as an example, which, like, and as I said, I'm not mentally prepared to the perspective of game running at 30 plus FPS.
Like I said, I've just been waiting more for something like that, to be honest, before I got the game.
Like, it's all well and good, but a lot of these games had physical editions on the original Switch.
Oh,
But
and
for the Switch 2, for some reason, they're making them keycard editions,
Well,
which makes zero sense to me.
I mean, I could understand game key cards if there's like absolutely no chance it would all fit on a Switch cartridge. Like if they ever put Rebirth on there, for example, can you imagine it fitting all on there?
we had to fit it on multiple discs on PS5.
On the
so-
PlayStation, so
Yeah.
so it fitting all on a Switch card, even the biggest one, there's no chance of that. So I can get that, but other smaller games, they're not having that. It's weird.
One of the examples being Sonic X Shadow, which, yeah, there's no excuse to have that as digital only.
What about? I mean, Hitman's going to be on game key card as well.
Honestly, Shiri, with
Yeah.
Sonic X Shadow, my reasoning is that I don't even sure why you would even need the Switch, stool version, because, you know, if you really care about the portability of that, there's a good chance, you might have got it on, well, not you, but in general, but one in general, might have got it on PC, and at that point you might as well use just a Steam Deck. If you, again, that's assuming
Yeah.
you really care about the portability, because otherwise you might have literally just played anywhere else.
I mean, I've got the PS5 version anyway,
Like,
so
it's a good
I
thing
have
that
the Switch version.
it's a good thing that there's the option, technically, but, like, if it becomes that kind of cumbersome, you might as well just, work smarter, not harder.
As for other stuff I do like about the Switch 2, I mean, the camera features look like they could be fun, even though I won't be getting a camera. And that you're not stuck just buying the Switch 2 camera, you can get other ones as well.
I'm gonna just, not paraphrase slightly, or at least partially quote what Nald, the other Italian friend of Deji, said. I'm not sure Nintendo can be trusted to put potential spyware technology in your house.
Oh yeah, they'll probably have real-life versions of those
Like-
Mario Party DS piracy videos.
People had already, speculated that their alarm clock program was not particularly a good idea for that on that matter. Yeah, Shiro?
The Alamo. I'll just quote what I heard someone else say about the camera as well. No VTuber is using that. That's
Maybe it's
doxing
like a-
central.
Maybe like a gag or something, but
I mean, there are easy workarounds at that point, but yeah, you might as well not even bother.
well, it'll be interesting to play a game in. It'd be interesting to play Nintendo stuff in 4K.
Honestly, what I'm curious is that for the GameCube Pro compatibility program, will they bother to actually include the titles like Eternal Darkness and Geist?
What about Star Fox Adventures? Will they put that on there?
Again, it's still part of their more known IP. Again, the ones I mentioned are not only M-rated games, but also from studios that are basically shut down, and Nintendo doesn't particularly have, a strong relationship. Didn't have even a strong relationship anymore. So
How about I got it? Put Twin Snakes on there. You can get. I want those Matrixy cutscenes.
well, that's up to Konami. It's kind of similar to how it probably do to Fundament. You're receiving the GameCube version of Soul Calibur 2, which had Link as a guest character, because back when the HD version of that came out on PS3 and Xbox 360, people were demanding for the Wii U at the time to actually receive also that one, because Nintendo did not bother to it. So probably a response to that. I swear, Aldritch never did take me that many attempts. It's also funny because while commentary was doing some testing, just to see if I was, out of shape and everything, but no, I was actually technically more fine with in working up and just bother to not kill the boss for the sake of, maintaining the encounter. But I don't know, like, I guess it's in this case, streaming curse. Actually, because our build is not particularly well versed into combating magic, and even then it would be kind of a waste, honestly. Because one constant thing in the Souls, in particularly the Hidetaka Miyazaki games, is that having an anti-magic build, makes not particularly much sense, because at that point you might be investing in, offensive capabilities.
Well, they also Nintendo also unveiled how much the upgrade packs for Switch 2 upgrades of Switch games will cost.
Which it's another kind of bullshit, supposedly.
I'll just check real quick on the, for example, let's say Mario Party.
Jamboree, which, to be fair, they do bother to mention that it has technically more content and it's just a glorified frame rate patch.
Yeah, the upgrade pack for that, at least, and I'm assuming the other games, it will be £16.99 in pounds.
As in, Nintendo comes at your home and gives you £16 on your face in order to buy it.
What game is this?
The Jamboree.
The Jamboree upgrade pack to Switch 2. I mean, I guess it could have been worse.
I mean, maybe it'll have a lot of content.
Yeah,
they did show off the new content.
Yeah, they did mention in the trailer, but at the very least, there is something. Like I said, it's more of a case of thanks for the beta testing more than anything, but at the very least, I can think the thought process of justifying the price. Stuff like the Zelda, more recent Zelda games, I don't know. Especially when you get to have, for example, the GPS app for free, technically. So, I don't know. Like, if they included an extra DLC story beat equivalent, that would have made more sense, but as they are, no. It's clearly that it's just there as a power move in order to basically say, yeah, we know about the fact that you could achieve this with emulators, but we want to have an official capacity and there's nothing you can do about it.
I'm also waiting to see how Pokemon ZA does. In terms of because I'm thinking if I'm gonna get that, I might as well just get the Switch 2 edition at the gate, assuming I have a Switch 2 by then. Well, I mean, one thing's for sure, when I get the Switch 2, the Switch 1's gonna go to Kex.
That's probably what's gonna happen with a lot of people. And there we go! One more god rejected. We get the Cinders of Aldritch and the Soul.
Lord of Cinder fallen.
The fire fades, and awaits its one last.
And now I'm getting teleported, even though I probably shouldn't. Okay, I don't remember this happening. Because maybe I was supposed to actually defeat the dancer. Remember, I mentioned this, once you defeated the third Lord of Cinder, you get teleported technically to fight the dancer of Boreal Valley. But I thought killing the NPC was going to prevent this. Whatever. We're gonna come back to this in just a second. Assume if I don't manage to beat whatever I manage to beat the dancer or not. Because that's still, our next big obstacle we need to face.
So far, everything that is like every switch to exclusive game that's interesting to me is something I can wait for a little bit.
Pretty much.
Lots of good stuff, but yeah, it's not like I want to rush to play them.
I would say that it's more encouraging than the Wii U marketing campaign so far. I will say that, but I still have no in particular of a rush to go for that. Again, even with the exclusive so far exclusive game that From Software is making, again, I can wait.
I was just looking up keks, actually. I didn't know there was a keks in the Canary Islands.
Alright, since I'm teleported at the gate, let's use the homeward bone to...
Oh.
the balls.
Okay, yeah. Turns out now Teo's Canadian. Also, in a bit of news, round here, it's a lot warmer than you'd expect for April.
Oh, to be fair, again, it's still spring, so you would hope that it's not glacial, but...
Well, apparently we're going to have a mini heat wave at some point.
Oh, already.
I already hate it here.
Sure, like I said, at this point you should just buy one of those, those American big coffin-like fridges, and just crawl inside it and wait
Just
there.
sit in it.
Just basically go hibernate inside and wait until winter.
I mean, personally, I'd recommend maybe getting one of those cooling units where you stick a tube out the window. It sucks in all the warm air, replaces it with cool air. And
yeah, I have one of those.
Huh.
Unfortunately, a lot of people have the same idea, and regularly this causes all the blackouts in the summer.
I do have a mini fan for my desk that's one of those ones where you put like water or ice in the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it puts that out.
Alright, bit of a refreshing, because if you forgot, this is the chamber in which in the first game we fought Ornstein and Smo, or as we were more colloquially called, Snorlax and Pikachu. Also, here in the background we have statues of Lord Gwyn, his daughter, Guinevere, and the space of the Firstborn, which was basically barred from the annuals because of treason towards his father.
Because he's a twat.
We will actually learn about what exactly happened in this game. However, taking if you might recall that taking the elevators, we reached here the chamber of Guinevere. Yeah, the bonfire that was here is not anymore. And let's see. And unfortunately, instead, the chamber is completely empty. Planned encounter required ahead. Princess, but whole. No gorgeous view ahead. And no love ahead. These truly are dark times. And resting here is the Sun Princess ring, the one that was tied to the Covenant, that Guinevere could actually give to you if you spoke with her. Let's see if I can find the description. Ring associated with Guinevere, Princess of Sunlight and eldest daughter of Gwyn, the First Lord. The ring is vaguely warm, like a beam of sunlight, and gradually restores HP. Guinevere left her home with a great many other deities, and became a wife and mother, raising several heavenly children. So, if you remember, the Guinevere that we talked with in the first game was but an illusion that Gwendolyn conjured in order to progress the narrative of Linking the Flame. So, it's knowing that the real life Guinevere managed to get away safely, it's at least a bit reassuring. Let's see if there is something that I was missing here. I don't think so. No. Okay. Ah, betrayal. Where? Maybe this guy was referencing to the fact that in the first game we could invade Lautrec or Karim after he betrayed us. I don't know. Anyway, the point is that now we need to face the Dancer of the Boreal Valley in order to progress. Because, again, if you didn't do anything, just by defeating the third Lord of Cinder, you will be automatically teleported to the place where the old lady that gave us the banner, was. Meaning that we need to teleport at the place at Vort, without Vort, and sprint all the way back to fight the Dancer. Basically, again, if you just got teleported, you will be teleported in front of a lady, which will die anyway of her own, even if we don't do anything, and then the Dancer will strike. But the point is that you need to defeat her in order to progress to what is essentially kinda sorta the final dungeon of the base game. Mind you, we're still technically far away from the end, because there are one or two more optional dungeons and the DLC that we have to tackle, so while we are, we are actually at a good point, we're still not that close to the end. Am I risking the souls? Yeah, again, 50,000 at this point do not level me up that much, so here's hoping. And I can just ignore the enemies since they're just, level, all small level.
Oh yeah, I recently also got the new WWE 2K game.
The one where they had the presentation at the State of Play, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, the intergender wrestling returning, that's interesting. Had a little go at that, and basically you could have probably the most craziest matches you can think of on there. As well as, of course, a special guest referee mode, my favourite.
Like, I do wonder for wrestling, how does that even work? Do you, intervene directly or something? Not score penalty, but mention how someone is committing a foul or something?
Well, special referee in wrestling is basically a regular wrestler becomes the referee of a match, and they can do whatever they want, pretty much. Either be, straight-laced and enforce the rules as they would normally do, or just be a complete maverick and just do fast counts to 3, or call submissions even though the guy hasn't tapped out. All sorts, really.
The sky
is my favourite one.
Limit.
Yeah, and since I'm practically the biggest agent of chaos in the group, sometimes I just decide, you know what, screw this guy, I'm just gonna screw him over because I feel like it. I'm not sure it's something we'll be doing a playthrough of.
I still am in a phase of not particularly caring in general about wrestling, mostly because I'm not growing up with it, and I know that there's a lot I should be catching up upon.
Yeah,
I wouldn't really have anything to say about it, to be honest, these days.
Yeah, well, I reckon at most I could probably just make a, I could probably just do a video of, not even for commentary, just so that we could watch just privately. What other films did I see recently?
Yeah, this is at around halfway through, the Dancer pulls up another dagger and starts doing more wombo combo.
Oh yeah, I rewatched Operation Kid Brother / Operation 0007 / OK Connery. Since at the time of recording, it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh,
because now Amazon owns pretty much everything attached to James Bond, which I guess includes also the James Bond Jr. cartoon.
Like they'll be
getting
showing
those
that.
bucks.
Sorry, Shirei?
Getting those Bezos bucks.
Pretty much. I really wish it could do that without having to shit on the Broccoli family, though.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the Broccoli family did accept it, so...
Like, I do wonder if they had no other
It's like what you said about...
matter.
It's like what you said about Fox. I mean, yeah, Disney bought them, but they chose to be sold. So...
Oh, I don't mean about the passing of a property or anything, but if you remember the data that was attached to that showcased, but not necessarily for the IP buyout, but later on, Bezos specifically wanted the Broccoli family out of the Bond projects because apparently could not detest Barbara, which is kind of petty, but perfectly in character for Bezos.
I mean, since the whole buyout happened, I kind of figured something like that would happen. Okay, and to be honest, I'm not going to say that the Broccolis more recently were flawless in their decision making.
Not to mention,
I mean, there was all those Bond delays and some projects turning out
questionable.
not.
Yeah, I still don't particularly like the Twisting Spectre, to be honest, but we're a long way ahead from that.
Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of other films
Not to
left
mention,
to go.
after No Time to Die, there was a delay in general before the buyout, so it strikes me MGM had no idea what to do with the IP at this point.
We'll have to see the film at some point while it's on Prime. But we'll do that as a commentary, since that's like the most well known Bond knockoff.
And honestly, it could probably be a better time than Casino Royale 1967.
Yes. Well, if a quote unquote if an unofficial yet still major studio backed spoof can't handle it, leave it to an independent Italian filmmaker.
Also, I found the person I was looking for, Shiroi. Be sure to ask Deji about peaks about Rhea Ripley. I'm pretty sure you'll be very interested in what you will see.
Okay.
Yeah, I can. Gee, I wonder why Deji is.
Well, you have to understand, Dweebs, me and Deji are very simple people. We see someone like, Rhea Ripley, we have to simp. It's that simple. You can't spell simple
right.
without simp,
I see.
I was looking at what movies are out this year because, I don't really know this year, to be honest. And I didn't know they were still making Ice Age movies.
She's referring what movies are coming out this year, Dweebs.
Well, because she said she doesn't know this year. I think it's 2025.
Anyway, go on.
I didn't realize they were still making Ice Age movies.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, Shiroi. There's quite a bit of gap between the last one, main one. Disney did some stuff, like The Adventures of Buck Wild, which from what I understand was not particularly well received because they tried to focus mostly on the side characters like Buck himself and the two opossums. And they also recasted a couple of people from the main cast. But for this new one, they're bringing basically all of them back. So they're bringing it as a sell point. Me, Pedro, and Edgy are also seeing those as part of the Blue Sky catalog. And I personally, speaking for myself, I'm having decent enough a good time. I only saw the first three in theaters and the other two sporadically, and I did not remember much of them, but 4 was actually something that I did appreciate it a bit more. There are some...
I've only seen the first 3.
Okay, the fourth one tries to be a more straightforward type of, good versus evil story with a more clear-cut villain compared to the previous 3 movies. Which is voiced by Peter Dinklage, and it's actually a very good time, I argue. There are some questionable casting choices, like one of the, something that I resonate particularly well, but one of the mammoth that tries to have a relationship with Peaches, the daughter of Manny, is voiced by Drake, so, whoops.
Oh no.
Yeah. Thankfully, it doesn't really go anywhere for that movie. It's because it's mostly one of the problems one of the actual problems it has is that it loves to, rely a bit too much on some cliches typically of that kind of story, like, oh, Manny is a very overprotective father, or the daughter Peaches has the quote-unquote nice guy best friend who secretly has a crush on her but doesn't have the courage to propose on her and stuff like that. Again, it's still a fun movie overall, but I agree with one thing that Pedro said, that it's a bit overstuffed and there's 2 plot lines that could have been just pick one and go with that, which I agree. The 5th one I have more distinct memories and I remember enjoying it, but I'll need to properly see it again.
Just checking what other films are. I got a ticket to see Thunderbolts.
Yeah, I'll probably see it too. Not sure if it's in cinema or when it comes online, so I'll see properly for myself. But needless to say, I am interested just to, see if this experiment can work, since it's basically a combination of, combining a few minor D-tier villains from previous movies into a more cohesive narrative.
I'm probably not going to see Rust in the cinema, though.
I don't remember. Forgot what movie is that?
That's that one where during production there was that incident involving.
Oh, right. I thought it already had come out.
No, it's coming out at some point.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah. Is Kevin Costner still making that part 2 instead of his movie that got released a while back?
I don't know, and to be honest, I don't really care. There's the new Final Destination movie.
Why?
Although I haven't
doing that. Okay, I don't remember. Is it another posthumous role for Tony Todd?
Yeah, apparently.
Okay.
I haven't seen any of the other ones though, so I'll have to get.
You
on
probably
that
might
before I see
enjoy
any
them,
others.
but it's one of those franchises that it was kind of a novelty to me with the concept of the first movie, but as the sequel progressed, I started not particularly enjoy them more and more as they went on. Really, the only highlight was Tony Todd himself, which I will not spoil what his kind of role is, because it's kind of sort of pivotal for the franchise, so you'll be able to see. But I guess it's a good thing that they managed to make him do something for this one. Is the new Scream also coming out this year? Because after that one also had its own share of problems during development and made me wonder why would they even do it at this point.
That I don't really know. I'll have to. There's also Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
Totally, we swear. Again,
Well, I mean, the last film didn't do that well at the box office, so.
Oh, and again, Tom Cruise just needs a break at this point. But I do wonder if Paramount just wants to reboot the IP after that, because it's clearly one of their more important cash cows right now. So
Possibly. There's the Lilo and Stitch remake.
live action that. Okay, I don't think I saw the trailer, but I saw the rendering of Stitch and no, just
I hate what they did with Pleakley. Cowards.
There's Karate Kid Legends.
Which, if I recall correctly, combines the two timelines into one abomination.
Oh, wow, the concept of multiverses has even found its way to Karate
Me and Alice
Kid.
were wondering.
Yeah, Shirai?
Me and Alice were wondering if they're gonna completely ignore Cobra Kai.
Which would be weird, because that acted as a proper, also, you know, separate sequel line from the first movie.
There's From the World of John Wick Ballerina.
Which supposedly finally coming out.
Yeah, and that had a bit of a weird production where during reshoots they essentially told the original director Len Wiseman to go away and replaced him with the original series franchise director Chad Stahelski, who because apparently the action wasn't good or there wasn't enough of it.
Weird. Yeah, because isn't Chad Stahelski also making the sequel movie at the same time?
I don't know about that one. There's Predator, Killer of Killers.
Well, that one I'm very interested in, and also the series, anthology series that they're making. Again...
Of Alien.
Well, sorry?
Because I thought Predator, Killer of Killers is a movie.
Yes, but they're also making separately a series that functions, an animated anthology series that sees the Predator in different time eras. There's also you might be interested in these lives. Well, more Jove probably would be, but you know how even before the crossovers, they basically planted the seeds and made sure to say that Predator and Alien are in the same continuity.
Yeah.
The trailer for the recent live-action movie seems to confirm that also Independence Day is in the same universe.
Huh.
Which honestly, okay, outside of some very, very minor plot holes about not referencing stuff where it should be, honestly I can see that working. The only thing that needs to be told in justifying is the fact that the Weyland-Yutani Corporation rose to power thanks to the technological advancement between Independence Day 1 and Resurgence, which honestly would make sense, you know. And the fact that the US government has, you know, knowledge about alien contacts beside the Yahuja, the species of a predator that was said in The Predator. Again, as much as a train wreck that movie is, it's still canon. We have to deal with that.
Unfortunately.
Everyone wish we could forget.
Oh yeah, there's 28 years later.
The third one in the 28 saga. Yeah, first days
I'll
of it. Sorry.
have to see the other one first. Well, it says F1.
Yeah, the one based around Formula 1.
And starring Brad Pitt.
Why not?
So weird though.
I'm still curious to see both the Gran Turismo movie and the Need for Speed movie.
I've seen Gran Turismo.
And you were not impressed.
Okay.
I remember hearing about that.
There's Jurassic World Rebirth.
Why? Okay, that's a stupid question because it makes the universe a lot of money. So there's that.
There you go. There's your answer.
Yeah, again, ask a stupid question and all.
Yeah. Superman.
Yeah, the James Gunn. That I probably will see it in theaters, not on day one, but I will. I have good faith, at least.
Oh, there's a new Andy Serkis directed movie, Animal Farm.
Oh, it's based on the George Orwell book.
I think so.
It's basically, for those who haven't actually read it, it's a satirical way of a parallel of the rise to power to communism in Russia and the creation of the Soviet Union, viewed from the viewpoint of farm animals. I know, it sounds weird as shit, but trust me, it makes sense.
They're making another Smurfs reboot.
And they seem to be taking the wrong ideas from the previous attempts.
There's I Know What You Did Last Summer, the sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Wait, that one already had 2 sequels. Like, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer and like I Always Know What You Did Last Summer, which were...
It's a direct sequel to I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
So they're ignoring the third movie. Got it, and honestly for the better.
There's the Fantastic Four, First Steps.
I'll probably see that one too in theater. Some Lego sets have already spoiled part of the movie, so watch out for that.
Happy Gilmore 2.
I don't remember that.
The new Naked Gun movie.
Well, Leslie is already dead, so is it like a reboot or something?
No, it's a sequel, and it has Liam Neeson now as the main character.
Again, they'll probably make just a joke about it, about recasting or something, I guess.
Although, the one thing I will say, I honestly respected the balls to do in terms of the trailer that I saw. It was a scene in the trailer, and all the descendants of the characters from the previous movies were looking at the pictures of their ancestors, going like, "Respect, man." But then the ancestor of that guy.
Okay.
What's his name?
Is it the guy that played the villain in Howard the Duck?
No.
Oh.
It was O.J. Simpson. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, and to be fair, they did a pretty funny thing in the trailer where the O.J. Simpson's character's son looks at his picture and the son's like, no.
Oh,
Well,
I saw the trailer for that. That looks fun.
Well, I will say that trailer better handles that situation than how the Beetlejuice sequel handled something like that.
This creature has ridiculous range.
Yeah.
Seriously, what the fuck were they thinking in Beetlejuice 2?
What did they do there?
Basically, for context, I'll just say the context, you can tell what they did with. One of the actors from the original movie, which did not came back, was convicted, as a child molester. He appeared in other movies like Howard the Duck. So however, he was one of the characters that was still alive by the end of the first movie, if I recall correctly, or at the very least alive by the terms of that movie standards. So what did we do to him?
Well, instead of just saying, "Oh, he's dead," and then moved on, which I would have been fine with considering what happened, the circumstances, they not only kind of plastered the guy's face all over the movie, they also had this weird subplot of his character getting killed, and then him running around the afterlife.
Without the thing is that they did not
Without
actually
his
use,
head.
yeah, they did not use the same actor, but they say, "Oh, it's the same character," but yes, the character has no head, so they just, someone with the same body proportions and call it a day.
That's weird.
Yeah, okay, to be fair, it kind of is the standards you will expect from Tim Burton, I guess, in terms of weirdness, but still.
I don't know. That's only, to be honest, that's only a couple of steps removed from making a Seventh Heaven sequel and just bringing back Stephen Collins.
God, even before that, I actually bothered to see a couple of episodes also of 7 Heaven because it was airing on TV, where, during that time span, and I was like, who cares about this shit? It's so fucking boring.
Yeah, I mean, something even worse than what happened in Beetlejuice 2, in that, I don't think you guys seen a show called Deadwood.
No, I haven't.
Called what, sorry?
It's this TV show called Deadwood. Basically, said guy we mentioned that got his character axed in Beetlejuice 2, he was in that show originally, but when they did a revival of it a few years ago, for some reason, they brought him back.
Honestly, with a name like that, the only kind of fictional media that I will expect is a zombie apocalypse version of a Robin Hood
No, I
mythos.
mean the actor's back there and all.
Yeah, I know, right? It was just elaborating on the
I
title show.
don't know why. Apparently they kept his role to a minimum, but why they bring him back at all, I don't know. Hollywood is fucked sometimes. I don't know what to tell you.
Just make it all the time, Dweebs. Like, remember,
Yeah.
people like the... I forgot the name. One of the kids from the Goonies got blacklisted for actually speaking
Yeah.
out on the matter.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the wizard. Sorry.
No. Oh, honestly, to give you an idea also, because I didn't even told you this, but for hilarity's sake, the movie was so that boring to me that right in the middle I started actually, grinding on Elden Ring because I found it more productive with my time.
Alright, so what else? I keep forgetting this Freaky Friday sequel coming out.
Honestly, at this point, with this kind of, type of, not rom-com, but something similar to that, I had to expect at one point to actually also have another sequel of To Gilmore Girls, which honestly would make no sense considering how the show ended. Unless you want to make it distant, because it's a sequel and just say that time is a flat circle, because I can't believe that.
What if they made a sequel to that Dinosaurs TV show?
Dinotopia? I thought it was a TV
No,
movie.
Dinosaurs, that one...
G. Manson's Dinosaur.
Yeah, the one that ends with them all practically dying at the end.
They could just dismiss it as an initial joke and say, actually the Ice Age did not last that long.
It lasted like 5 minutes. There's a Toxic Avenger reboot.
I never particularly care about that franchise. I know it has a, kind of a cult following because, sensationalism on TV and everything, but I don't particularly care.
Downton Abbey, the grand finale.
Which I guess also has Maggie Smith posthumous for that.
Maybe. I don't know about that one. Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues.
No. I don't even.
Him.
Is it a sequel to Her? I don't... Like, what the... Who? Okay, I'm sorry. Like, again, I don't know if it was Jordan Peele starting his trend, but who at Hollywood keeps thinking it's a good fucking idea to make these very oversimplified, titles to movies?
Well, Jordan Peele was the producer.
Oh my god. So I have to thank him.
Yeah, him. For him.
I'm sorry, it's the title equivalent to the oversimplified logo meme. I really don't see the point. I'm sorry.
Unless one of these days he's gonna make a film called Y.
Or, no, yeah, and it's not even properly spelled Y, it's just the Y letter.
The letter Y. Oh, Tron Ares.
Yeah, the one with Jared Leto. I will not see that one in theater because, Jared Leto and everything. But I am still curious to see what's gonna happen.
Probably watch it on Disney Plus, I reckon.
Well, on my own, when it leaks online.
I'll see how it turns out. I'll wait for critic reviews.
I forgot. Have you ever seen the original Tron, Dweebs?
I have. It
okay,
aged terribly.
I'll need to see it again. Yeah, the special effects probably are the thing that has aged the most. But it's
There's Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah, I forgot who has Johnny Cage. They did
Carl Urban.
Yeah, they did show a teaser, and he seems to be pretty on the roll, but we'll have to see.
What were you saying about Tron?
Again, I'll need to see the first movie again, but it's an interesting time encapsulation of the 80s, and we have to remember, it's because of Kingdom Hearts that the IP is still alive, because otherwise Disney wouldn't have given a shit about it.
There's Predator Badlands.
Yeah, as you mentioned.
There's the remake of The Running Man.
With whom?
Edgar Wright is a director / co-screenwriter,
Yeah, I can see him doing it.
and the main character is played by Glenn Powell.
Come on.
He was previously in Spy Kids 3D Game Over, where he played Long-Fingered Boy.
What a name.
Most recently, he's been in some other
There
stuff
we
like,
go.
Tokyo Ghoul.
Finally. We made it. We finally taught the dance moves to the dancer. I cannot do one-liners.
Oh, there's also Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
This is the third movie in the series.
I'm surprised you just call that the second movie.
I will definitely not see that one in theaters, but probably eventually when it comes out, me and Deji. Anyway, after defeating the dancer, dance to your death, yeah, there you go, that's your one-liner. We need to place the basin that the person that was standing on the chair did on the base of the statue, which activates a mechanism, a contraption, so to speak, where the poor fucker of the statue puts the blade close to the throat and it leaks blood. Is this like a House of Wax 2005 situation? Is there a person inside it? Which fills the actual basin with the blood and properly activates the statue in order to remove it away and have the ladder that one might have noticed drop onto the ground. Oh, much like in the Saw series, I have to agree with Adam from WeirdMovieStacks.org. Any contraption that requires a weight and uses liquid on it just makes you a question. Just pee in it. It requires just to be filled with a liquid and to wait enough to activate the mechanism. You don't have to sacrifice blood.
What if you can't pee?
Oh, boy, man. Alright, we are at a good time, at a good point, so we'll just briefly scout ahead and we'll conclude the part. Because this leads you to, like I said, Lothric Castle, which, like I said, it's one of the... not the final dungeon, but something close to that. If I recall correctly, there is another bonfire right up here. No, there are a couple of enemies. So instead what I'm gonna do is gonna ignore that, because going instead on the left, here, let there be lightning, okay. There is a shortcut here that we'll have to open another time. Try ranged battle and then try charging. Yeah, I don't need it. We obtain here a Soul of a Weary Warrior. Try lining, I don't care. There is this dude in a super shining armor and a tower shield that we need to face. Just a regular enemy, thankfully. If I recall correctly, he's one of those enemies that is super weak in being bamboozled by the skill of my weapon, so... I just need to avoid getting hit. It's all about the dodging. Yeah, the tower shield is one of those that actually genuinely blocks your attack, so I need to wait for an opening or, you know, strafe around. Yeah, no you don't. Goodbye. We get the oh yeah, it's a Cathedral Knight. Yeah, because they're similar to the ones that we saw in the Cathedral of the Deep. And by taking this very rotten like elevator, it's very moldy.
Wants to go on a moldy elevator.
We reach, if I recall correctly. Oh yeah, we definitely don't want to step here. I'm just gonna do this quickly. Because, guess what, kids? We're having yet another poisonous area, the Consumed King's Garden. Miyazaki-senpai, why are you doing this? Actually, no, we already know the answer why he's doing this, because he mentions in interviews, he literally says, I can't help myself. What is this man's problems? Anyway, that's a good stopping point, cliffhanger and all, I know. So join us in the next part, where we try to venture into this poisonous swamp and see what we can find. See you for that.
See ya.